needless to say, the third treatment did happen. The follow-up treatment, according to Dale Coleman, was scheduled for January 5th. That did not happen. When I spoke to the inspector, because he came out because I had requested a work order because there were silverfish now in the apartment that had never been there before, he told me that Dale was wrong and that he would be out on the 12th. And until at this time, which is now the 24th of March 2017, there has been no final inspection. In addition to that, I had issues with my heater. I formally requested a work order because there was a loud noise coming from the furnace / central heat. Sashir came out to respond to the work order. He told me the reason why it was making that noise is because the filter had to be replaced. I received a letter stating that the filter would be replaced the following week. The filter was replaced towards the last week of February, those last few days, and the noise became louder. And I was concerned that something was going to happen to the motor. It was going to explode. I had no idea.
Burn up.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And I was concerned. So I called back yet again and requested that the noise had become louder, that it had nothing to do with a filter being replaced. Sashir came out again to do a reinspection and agreed. He heard the noise and he said it had something to do with the motor. It was out of his range of knowledge, that he would have to place a work order in to get approval, and that he would have to have a specialist come out that specializes in heater and motors and furnaces. The following day, while I was pulling out of the driveway to go to work, Sashir was there and told me that he had the specialist had arrived. I said, that's fine, you can have access to the apartment. Please make sure my cat does not get out and make sure you lock the door. That was the last time I spoke to him. That Thursday night, early Friday morning, I was freezing. It rained all day and night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I got up because I was bone chilled cold.
You were lying in bed in the
I was asleep. It woke me up because I was so cold that when I went to figure out, because the heater is automated, I have it at 70. Why is it so cold? When I went to go and look, I said, well, maybe I turned it off by chance. Who knows? And it wasn't off. And I clicked it and I moved it up higher. And it was registering at 63 degrees, 62 degrees, because it's digital. And nothing. So then I opened up the door and realized that the motor was gone. That there was no way without a motor, just like without a car engine, it was going to work.
And you had not been informed?
I had not been informed. I was livid. I was fit to be tied, like Judge Million says, put a fork in me, I'm done. I grabbed as many blankets and comforters as I could and bundled myself up with a box of Kleenex and sneezed and blew my nose because I caught a cold and could not go to work for the next 2 days. Friday came around. I heard nothing from property management. Not a word.
Well, you called them.
No. I did not call them until Monday.
Oh, because it was a weekend. You couldn't. Yeah.
Sashir lives right across the street from me. The head of maintenance. Right across the street, 200 feet away from me.
Right.
I was so upset that there was no heat. There was no notice. There was no portable heaters, nothing to help justify, to make me whole, to hold me over till I was informed of the information and what was going to happen. So that Monday at 11:30 in the morning, I called Dale on March 6th and was extremely riddled with anxiety and physically sick because of their lack of respect, professionalism, and intention to notify a leasee, a resident, of what's going on with a major issue that falls under inhabitable conditions through the state of California.
Yep.
And he told me, oh, nobody brought you over portable heaters? I'll get someone to send you 2 out right away. Well, around 5 p.m., Sashir shows up with 2 heaters. I thanked him, shut the door, plugged in the heaters, and dust and dirt and dirty dog hair like a dog hadn't been washed and rolled around in mud, running amok with 101 Dalmatians, came oozing, burning smoke. So offensive. I had to unplug them and they were not usable.
So
I placed them outside my front door. I assumed that they came and picked them up.
But so you're still there in the cold.
Still there in the cold until Friday at the 10th at approximately 1:15 when the specialist said. And in addition, the specialist told me this is totally unsafe, that they didn't tell you that there was no motor, that the gas that comes out of there, it could have been a combustion and there could have been a fire and you could have died because of the carbon monoxide that is odorless that comes out of here. Wow. And when he was there refiguring all the wires and stuff, the smoke detectors started going off and I smelled these chemicals that were almost to the point where I was going to throw up. And I ran out. I said, what is going on? He says, oh, that's because I had to connect the wires and the fumes. And he was waving his hand over the smoke detectors and said, this will pass. It's all the dust and dirt and the chemicals and stuff. Yeah, real nice. Real nice.
And in the meantime, you're choking to death.
Yeah,
on this
coughing.
Yeah.
While I'm sick with the cold.
Yeah.
So
because you were in the cold.
Exactly.
The cold.
Thank you. That was, yes, the Nightmare on CHINOOK Court, orchestrated, directed, produced, underwritten, financed by property manager Dan Stone. Yet again, he strikes again. Should do a Star Wars trilogy with George Lucas. Too bad he didn't put his museum here for us. Thank you for this warm cup of coffee. It's delicious.